بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وبارك وسلم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. So far you learned many different lessons from the surah, the surah Yusuf, different type of lessons, how fathers dealt with sons, how brothers dealt with the other brothers, how you had a loneliness in the well, how they had a different kind of troubles with women, with seduction, with regarding evidences, how to deal with evidences, all these different things that we learned just from Surah Yusuf. We also talked about regarding hikmat, wisdom, decision making, all of these different things and how to deal with certain different aspects of life just from the life of Surah Yusuf. And there are so many different lessons that we can learn, and this has been mentioned right at the end of Surah Yusuf, where he mentions how many people can learn different ibras, different lessons, and only those people that will learn these difference are those people that have intelligence. So we are hopefully amongst those people that can take so many different type of lessons from this surah. So far we've reached until ayat number 50, I believe, where now we've got to, and we've reached the place where the king has a dream. So the king has a dream and he wants it interpreted. So there's nobody to interpret it, but there's one person that says, you know, I know somebody. He goes all the way towards the prison. He finds Yusuf alayhi salam, and Yusuf alayhi salam interprets the dream for him. While he's interpreting the dream, he also gives advices and solutions to what should he actually do. You know, if I'm interpreting the dream, I want to give solutions as well. So he gives a solution to the king as well. So this person is the person being sent, the messenger being sent to Yusuf. He wants the kind of glory to himself, and he says, yeah, I'm going to go and tell the dream towards the king so I can get it in his good books. But obviously Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a plan, and his plan is to try and make the truth come out. So at this point, ayat number 50, when the king was informed about the interpretation, now they've got the interpretation, the news of what this dream means, and the king is now excited and is extremely pleased. And his messenger comes back and he interprets the dream of the 7 fat cows and the 7 thin cows and the harvest and the non-harvest and so forth. So he mentions here, وَقَالَ الْمَلِكُ ائْتُونِي بِهِ. The king said, bring him to me. Who's this man? Bring him to me. When the messenger came to Yusuf alayhi salam, he told him, so this is now the king saying, go on, bring him back. Who is this person that giving me such knowledge, such great wisdom, such great dream interpretations? Bring him to me. I want somebody like him. The king's intrigued. Who is this man? So when the messenger goes towards to the prison again, and remember he's going to free Yusuf. He's going to go and free him because he's coming from the side of the king. So the messenger goes towards Yusuf. Yusuf alayhi salam rejects. He says, no, not yet. This is not the right time. He could have said yes like this. Even when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam was mentioning this part of the this surah, and he's mentioning to the companions, what I have done, I would have run to the door, I would have been gone. So this is what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam was saying, that I would have been ready to accept whatever the messenger said, and I would have left the prison. Yusuf alayhi salam does not do this straight away, and the reason behind this is that he wants to clear his name first. Clear his name. So he mentions here that Yusuf alayhi salam, he told him, the messenger, return to your master, return to your king, and ask him what is the condition of the women who repeatedly cut their hands. Indeed, my Rabb is well aware of their plot. So Yusuf alayhi salam wanted the king to clear his name in public before coming out of prison. Now remember this, why has he mentioned the situation of the woman cutting hands? Why has he not accepted this straight away? Yusuf does not want the people to know that evil is associated with him. People now thought that, oh, he was the one that was being involved in some evil with the woman, with the wife of the Aziz. So he said, I want to clear my name first of all. Do that and then I'll come out of prison. And he wants it done in public so everybody knows. So once the king gets word of this, then he can pardon. Then it's much better for his side. At the same time, he's opening a case. You know when you reopen a case? So this is 7 years ago, it's 8 years ago, something happened. He wants it reopened. That case that was never solved, he wants it reopened. And remember this, when a person has a lot of haya, he has a lot of modesty, lots of izzah, lots of honor, which a mu'min should have. They should have modesty. They should have honor and izzah about, their reputation and if something is evil attributed towards them, they want to clear their name. This is something of what a mu'min does. So his character is more important for him than him leaving the prison. His character must be such that my character amongst the people must be known not to be attributed with evil. So his character was being attacked and still being attacked over so many years ago. Everyone's kind of attributed this towards his name. He says, no, I must clear my name first. My character is not like this. I am not like this. This is not who I am. I am innocent from this kind of evil. Once this is done, I'd rather be staying here in the prison rather than my character being attacked. So this is now how important the character is for a mu'min. For a person who has, ghira, he has a bit of, modesty regarding his character is very important. That's why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when his character was talked about in the Quran, is about uswatun hasana. When everyone talked about the character of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the qualities of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was that was attributed first. Then people listened towards his da'wah. He was called Al-Amin first before people called him, accepted his da'wah. So that's why everyone established his character first. And this is now a very important point where a person sees the character of a person, then he accepts. It's easier for a person to accept the message. So when a person looks at his character, he's a good man, he does good actions. He's not just talk the talk, but he walks the walk as well. His character is such as well. So this is now Yusuf alayhi salam saying, look, my character was completely attacked. But he says, why reopen the case of cutting the hands? What happened that time? The women came for the banquet. Yusuf alayhi salam was only walking past while they were cutting the fruits and the desserts, and they were cutting their hands. Where's the sin there? What did Yusuf alayhi salam? Well, there's no sin there. That wasn't the part where it's supposed to be reopened. The case was supposed to be when he was locked inside of the room and the Aziz found out and so forth. That was supposed to be open. He was supposed to, that was the actual case. Why did he mention this part? Why was the cutting the hands, that case was supposed to be open? There's no actual crime, or let's say it's a petty crime, not something that you reopen a case for. So, and the guilty part in the whole case is who?
The wife.
Is the wife. The wife is supposed to be guilty. In the whole case of cutting the hands, she got scot-free. Nothing was blamed on her. Nothing happened to her. She was fine. She didn't even cut her hands. So why was that one mentioned? Is to try and put or shift the blame and shift the spotlight onto her. It's supposed to be onto the wife of the Aziz. She's being called innocent in that case, even though they're cutting their own hands. So his use of words is very modest. The way that he is calling out the wife of Aziz, not directly, not in a blameworthy way, but he's saying, open this case up. Open up your minds to this case. Where is it leading towards? And once it leads towards the wife, what happened with the wife? And where did that come from? And where did that lead to? So where does everything... So he's opening the minds of the people. Then now the minds of the people are intrigued. What's going on? What case are you talking about? What you mean the cutting the hands? There's more to it? So now people are kind of hungry for the truth. And they want to open up this case and find out what's happening. So this is what Yusuf alayhi salam does. He opens up the minds of the people. He keeps the incident open as well. What did happen and so forth. He didn't accuse them. He didn't accuse directly the wife of the Aziz. Or the woman as well. Didn't directly accuse them. What he says, I accuse them of plotting. Not accuse them of seduction, but I accuse them of plotting against me. And that is the crime, or that was the kaid, was the crime was the kaid, was to do with the plotting. That was the crime. So he's opening the minds up to the people and opening the minds up to the king. So once the king opens the case, now it becomes national news. And that's where the publicity comes into play. This is what he wants. He wants the publicity. So he wants to go to the king to get it. Past the ministers, because the ministers were, they chucked him in jail. They were a bit corrupt. So he went past the king, he went past all the ministers and went to the king. Once he gets to the king, then it becomes national news that he wants to open this case. And everyone's going to find out what's happened. And the wife of the Aziz has to now come out with the truth. So this is what happened so far. وَقَالَ الْمَلِكُ ائْتُونِي بِهِ, and he calls him over and then he rejects. So now remember this, that in the next ayat, Allah doesn't mention the king called all of the women and then he investigated. He didn't say all of that part, he just straight to the point. The king asked. Who did he ask? The woman. The people were called already, the case is open, now everyone's in, let's say, court, and now they're being questioned. So the king says, قال ما خطبكن إذ راوتن يوسف عن نفسه قلنا حاشا لله ما علمنا عليه من سوء. The king called for the women and asked, what is your version, or what is your tale, your story, when you attempted to seduce Yusuf against his will? All of the women attempted to seduce Yusuf against his will. So they replied, Hasha lillah, Allah is pure. It's like us when we say Subhanallah. How dare we say, no, say Subhanallah, Hasha lillah. We do not know of any evil in him. Yani he's completely innocent. All of the women testify that Yusuf is completely innocent. So you have one testimony, two testimony, three testimony. All of these women that were there, all of them testified that Yusuf is completely innocent of any kind of evil. قالت امرأة العزيز الآن حصحص الحق. Woman, the wife of the Aziz is looking like everyone's just saying that he's innocent, and what am I supposed to do now? If he's innocent, then that means I'm guilty. Now, that means I'm guilty. Now all of the blame is towards me, and all of the evidence is against me. So I've got 7 years of this sin hanging on my head, and all of these people are talking behind my back and gossiping around me that you done this to this slave boy. I just want to get this over and done. I want to get this off my chest. So what does she do? She confesses. قالت امرأة العزيز, the wife of the Aziz, the wife of the minister, says, the truth is now out. الآن حصحص الحق. The truth is now out. أنا راودته عن نفسي. I attempted to seduce him against his will. وإنه لمن الصادقين. And he is of the truthful. He did not try to seduce me. I did. I was doing it to him. So she confessed in front of everybody that now it's my fault. It's something which is I am guilty for. He is completely innocent. And this is what Yusuf a.s. wanted. Because the king was involved, national news, now the guilty party is out. Now everyone knows he is completely innocent of the certain evil that was attributed towards him. And all of these women testified it in Yusuf a.s. favor. Some have also mentioned, ulama have mentioned regarding that the wife of the Aziz was now a widow. So there was no husband involved, there's no Aziz anymore. And now she's okay to say it in front of everyone. Even now the Aziz is not there, meaning it's another less burden on her shoulder that the truth is out. Even though he knew, but still the kind of backlash that might have happened regarding the reputation of the Aziz is gone because he's passed away. So this has also been mentioned as well. So ذلك, the next ayat, ذلك ليعلم أني لم أخنه بالغيب وأن الله لا يهدي كيد الخائنين. There's two versions here which I am going to give you both versions. Who is this speaking now? These are the two versions. I'm going to mention the first version and then I'm going to mention the second version. Yusuf a.s. was informed about the admission. So Yusuf a.s. knows now. He knows that he is innocent. The king has called for him and so forth. The declaration of his innocence. So let's cut to the scene. Let's go straight to the prison. Let's go straight to the prison. He's found out this news. So he says, ذَلِكَ لِيَعْلَمَ أَنِّي لَمْ أَخُنْهُ بِالْغَيْبِ وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي كَيْدَ الْخَائِنِينَ. This declaration, this was so that he, yani the minister, may know that I did not betray him in his absence. No, I didn't do anything wrong while he was out, and I didn't do nothing wrong with his wife. And without doubt, Allah does not promote the plot of the betrayers. So this is him talking. So he may know. وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ إِلَّا مَا رَحِمَ رَبِّي إِنَّ رَبِّي غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Although he's innocent, out of humility he says, I do not, وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي. I do not absolve myself of what, I'm also at fault. Out of humility he says, I was also there and I was also at fault. Surely the soul, the nafs, insistently commands towards evil. My nafs was telling me to go towards and incline towards evil. Except Allah, those souls whom Allah has shown mercy upon, undoubtedly my Rabb is more forgiving, more merciful. Now this sounds correct. If I cut the scene, I go to Yusuf a.s. and he says these words. But a lot of ulama and scholars of tafsir also mentioned that these are the words of not Yusuf a.s. but these are the words of Imratu Aziz, the wife of the Aziz. So let's go and try and look at this point. Now she's confessed. Then she says, everything that has happened now was so that he may know that I do not betray him. My husband, the Aziz, so that he may know that I did not betray him in his absence. It wasn't like I betrayed him. I didn't do anything wrong. I was maybe wanting to do something wrong, but nothing happened. I didn't betray him behind his back. And without doubt, Allah does not promote the plot of the betrayers. But it wasn't me. I didn't do anything wrong. It was supposed to happen, but it didn't happen. So I can't be, it's not evil that should be, so things like this happen. I was inclined towards him, but nothing actually happened. So this is what she was saying as well. And then she says, وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي. I do not absolve myself completely. Yes, I was at fault. I did something here and there, but it's not a major thing. These things happen between certain people. Surely the soul insistently commands towards evil, except who Allah shows mercy upon. So she could have been saying these words as well. She could have been saying these words as well. These are two versions of who said these words. Both Mufassirin have mentioned both these types as well. I incline towards the one of Yusuf alayhi salam. Some ulama incline towards the one of the women as well, which also has a completely valid reason as well. So this is also having mentioned. Then, now that's done. Now Yusuf alayhi salam is free. He's out of the prison. وَقَالَ الْمَلِكِ. Now the king says, أُتُّونِي بِهِ أَسْتَخْلِصُ لِنَفْسِي. Bring him to me so that I may keep him exclusively for myself. Bring him to me now. Bring him. He's out of prison. Bring him to me. Now remember this. He says, bring him to me. Has he met Yusuf? No. Just bring him to me. I want him. He hasn't even met him yet. But he's saying, I want him to be my right hand man, exclusively for me. I want completely him to be for me. I want him, he's mine now. He's never ever met him. A few days ago, he didn't know who he was. Now he wants him to be a very close friend. So why is this, and what's the reason behind this? أَسْتَخْلِصُ لِنَفْسِي فَلَمَّا كَلَّمَهُ. Without even seeing him, I mentioned regarding this. So remember this, the master plan of Yusuf, let's say, the master plan of Yusuf alayhi salam was what? Public kind of innocence, freedom from all of this evil that was kind of attributed towards him. And he took the long road. He said, I'd rather stay in prison than go outside and have everyone attribute this evil towards me. I'd rather stay in prison. Sabr. It was a long route. There was his honor at stake. And he established his credentials first. He said, no, make sure my character is completely cleared before I go and meet the people. At the same time, his credentials of doing it. Remember this, the da'wah, when a person wants to give da'wah, if I want to give da'wah, I must have good credentials. Everyone must see that I am, worthy of being listened to. I am a person of character. I'm a person of, amal. I want to do. Everyone wants to see me doing amal before I even get listened to. Everyone must see me like as a person of, I can trust this person. So he mentions these two qualities. فَلَمَّا كَلَّمَهُ قَالَ إِنَّكَ الْيَوْمَ لَدَيْنَا مَكِينٌ أَمِينٌ. The king says, when the king spoke to him, Yusuf alayhi salam, the king said, verily today you are a man of honor and trustworthiness with us. You are makeen, you are amin. You are makeen and amin. There's two qualities. Makeen, makan wala, a person of high status, a person of honor, a person worthy of izzah, high place in my eyes. You are now makeen, you are high place in my eyes. And on top of that, you are amin. Who else was called amin? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Who else? Amin. In the Quran, Allah calls this person Amin, another prophet of Allah. Innahu qawiyyun Amin. Musa alayhi salam. He's also called Amin. So this is remember how the connected all of the Nabi Anbiya alayhi salam, all brothers. All brothers. So then Amin, the quality of Amin comes. Trustworthiness. He was trustworthy. He said, you are trustworthy. The king says, you are trustworthy. Just like how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just like how the mushrikeen of Makkah, before Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was given Nabuwwat, they called him Al-Amin. He is the trustworthy. I will give him my gold, I'll give him everything to look after. He's going to look after. He's not going to deceive me at all. He is Amin. In the same way how the king is calling Yusuf alayhi salam Amin. In the same way how when you look at the story of Musa alayhi salam and he's helping the two women at the well, and then the woman goes back towards the father and says, look, this is a person of quality, and this is a person that has got quality and character of Amin, so I can ask him for marriage. Ask him for marriage. This is what you want in a person looking for marriage. You want Amin, just like the Prophet. So these are the qualities of the Prophets. Amin, being trustworthy, amanatar. Remember this, look where he came from. One of the qualities that I wanted to mention, as apart from Amin, is you look at how when every single time the word Amin comes, a character, quality of character, there's a quality of skill with it as well. So what do I mean by this? If you look at the next ayat, قَالَ اجْعَلْنِي عَلَى خَزَائِنِ الْأَرْضِ إِنِّي حَفِيظٌ عَلِيمٌ. He mentions, Yusuf alayhi salam puts a request and a shart and a condition towards the king. He says that appoint me as the minister over the treasury, appoint me the financial minister of the land, give me this post. Yusuf alayhi salam said, appoint me over the land. I am Hafidun Alim. I am Hafid and I am Alim. On top of that, another quality. I am Hafid, I am protected, I am trustworthy. And I am Alim, I am knowledgeable of the fact of what's going to happen in the next 7 years. I know exactly what to do. I know exactly how to take away the percentage of and the story and then use it for the next years, and give me this as well. And I also know that this is not going to be only for Egypt, but the surrounding areas of Egypt as well. And they will come to you as well. They will come to you for help, and we at least will have some grains and we can help out the people. And we can take some raqam for this, we can take some money for this when they come to us. And who am I talking about? The surrounding areas? Palestine. Who's in Palestine? His father and his brothers. So he knows as well. So he's put himself in a post as well. He asked for this position. Now why am I talking about regarding inna hafidun alim? He is trustworthy and he is protective over this. When you look at hafidun alim, let's look at hafidun alim. Hafid is a quality of character. Alim is a quality of knowledge, but it's to do with skill. So you have character and skill put together. The word character to do with your own character, and the skill that you possess. You have knowledge and you have a skill that you possess. Same with Hafid is a character which is to do with your reputation. You're a Hafid, you're a protective person. You can do that. Another one, Alim, is your person of experience. Same way with Makin and Amin. Amin is a character to do with your character, how you are. Makin is to do with your regarding your reputation. Musa alayhi salam, he was Qawiyul Amin. Amin is to do with your character. Qawi, he was skillful. He was strong, skillful. See how both of them are put together. The qualities of Allah, so the qualities given to these people, their character was great and they were skillful in other things as well. Their character was great and they were skillful as well. They're not just, oh, he's a good person, but he's completely useless in everything else. He was good and he was skillful in the trade business, or he was skillful in this. Zakaria salam, what was he? What was his skill? What was he as in his job wise? Hadith of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions it. He was what? Carpenter. He was a carpenter. Dawood alayhi salam was. Yeah, we got hammersmith or blacksmith or blacksmith. So yeah, blacksmith. They were good in their trade. At the same time, they were had these qualities of Amin, of Hafid, of Alim, and all of these things. Look at how the qualities go together. So maybe you're skillful. All of us are skillful in a certain trade. But we're learning a job, we're skillful in a certain trade. Have a quality with us as well. That quality is so important. You don't want to just be skillful in the trade and have bad qualities. And you don't just want to have good qualities, but you're useless compared to, you can't give any benefit to anybody else. Have them both together. That's just like how a person has knowledge. The knowledge of the dunya and the knowledge of the deen. Have the high amount and quality deeni knowledge, but also as well the worldly knowledge. And have that balance together. Be top in your deeni knowledge and be top in your worldly knowledge as well. Both. Have both. Don't just suffice in one and then leave the other. Have both. If a person is really skillful in his dunyavi knowledge, he's really good at this subject, that subject, go, and that means he's also going to be clever, or you can also grasp the fact of the deeni knowledge as well, and go far in that as well. Have both. And this is what we want from all of our youth and all of our people that are living in this society, that we want to raise the platform and the reputation of Islam so much in both fields as well, that we're pioneers in both fields as well. So this is what we find out regarding the qualities of Yusuf alayhi salam, benefiting mankind. He wants to benefit the people. He wants to put him in a position as a finance minister. Remember, this is a non-religious state. Egypt there's no Muslims there. He says, put me in this position of power, put me in this position, Yes, the state is run in a different way, which is how Muslims want it to be run, but put me in this power so I can do some work there. And this is why he's changing from the inside. He's changing the mindset of the people, how it works, and he's showing his qualities of how it should be worked and how he learnt from his father and Ibrahim alayhi salam, and the scriptures that he had and how it was done. So he's changing from the inside. He went to a non-religious state, got into a power in a non-religious kind of place of power, and he wants to change it from there by benefiting people and showing the qualities of how Muslims are as well. So obviously this is a dangerous place, because a person must have qualities to be in that. At the same time, if you're able and to do it, then you also have to be wary about how much it influences you as well to be in this. This is when you're going into politics, and those people, the young people, want to go into politics, and you've got to realize what kind of place that is, whether you're able to be ready to stand in that place and do some good in that place. And if you're not, then you rather be away, because it could do more harm than benefit at the same time. So this is what Yusuf alayhi salam is involved with at this moment. In this وَكَذَلِكَ مَكَّنَّا لِيُوسُفَ فِي الْأَرْضِ, in this manner, we rescued him from the prison, from a loving father, that kind, nice, gentle, warmly house that he was in, to the dark, alone well, and then from that well to a nice, lovely palace, where completely huge contrast between the two, and that lovely palace towards the dungeon, and the dungeons and the jails, not like these jails. These jails are nice, 5-star compared to the jails of the past and the jails of different countries, where it's completely, these places to live is completely different. Now from the jail, where is he going? Towards the king's palace again. And not just, this is the king's palace, not the minister's palace, but the king and his own kind of place where he's in charge, and he has all of the finances underneath him, and underneath his kind of rule and so forth. And he's got a certain thing with the king, and he can do certain things which has been allowed for him. We granted authority and power to Yusuf alayhi salam. يَتَبَوَّأْ مِنْهُ حَيْثُ يَشَاءُ. He could live wherever he willed and anywhere he used to go. Remember, he was confined to a prison, wasn't allowed to go anywhere. Now he's allowed the whole of Egypt. Now he's allowed the whole of Egypt. يُصِيبُ بِرَحْمَتِهِ مَنْ نَشَاءُ وَلَا نُضِيعُ أَجْرَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. We shower our mercy upon whomever we wish, and we do not put to waste, spoil the reward of those who do good. Yani, Allah rewards those people that are righteous. Those good qualities that you have and you want to do good, Allah rewards you. Definitely Allah rewards you. You may have to go through some sort of sabr and some sort of difficulty, and in the end Allah will definitely give you. But look how the level of difficulty increased for Yusuf, increased. But the same way the rewards of Yusuf increased, and he got the whole of the Egypt. Underneath his control, he got the whole of Egypt. So look how the levels increase in your life. In your life, your difficulties will increase more and more. But at the same time, your rewards and your benefits will definitely increase as well. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards those people that are righteous. Undoubtedly, the reward of the akhirah is best for those who have iman and who adopt taqwa. Yani the true rewards, yani he says there, this is an ishara that you will get a reward in this dunya and the akhirah. Why? Because akhirah is best. Best from what? Best from the dunya. It's better than the dunya. So definitely you will get dunya rewards as well as akhiri rewards when doing righteous deeds as well, and righteous good actions as well. So now I'll just do the 3 minutes inshallah, and I'll finish the next few ayats, because we only got about 5 days. I have only about 5 days to try and cover the story of Yusuf. So hopefully I'll finish in the next few minutes. The next part of the story, the drought started. Years have gone past. The drought has happened. Everyone's suffering regarding the drought except for Egypt. Why? Because they're storing and they're helping out, and they're trying to come up with a certain plan to try and make it easy for everyone. So it's taking its toll, but it's taking its toll on the surrounding areas as well. It's taking its toll on the people of Egypt as well. So in this next ayat, Allah mentions here, وَلَمَّا وَجَاءَ إِخْوَةُ يُوسُفَ فَدَخَلُوا عَلَيْهِ فَعَرَفَهُمْ وَهُمْ لَهُ مُنْكِرُونَ. Now because everyone's now coming towards Yusuf, coming towards Egypt, and now they're saying, we need some grain, we need some help, we need some this. And who comes from the surrounding areas? The people from Palestine. And who is this? The brothers of Yusuf. Get sent by their father. وَجَاءَ إِخْوَةُ يُوسُفَ فَدَخَلُوا عَلَيْهِ. So they come towards Yusuf alayhi salam. Why did they come to Yusuf? Usually you don't go towards the highest minister for some food. You go to the local merchants and the businessmen, they'll give you. But because theirs was, he's doing such a good job, number one, because of the finance. He recognizes his brothers are coming. they're foreigners, number one, so they get to a higher level businessmen. They're asking for a large quantity because now they're 10 brothers there, and now this is so many years later they've seen Yusuf, so they've got children, they've got wives, there's now 100 probably of them, so they're a large quantity they're wanting, so they get sent to Yusuf eventually. So Yusuf questions them, he sees them, he recognizes them, فَعَرَفَهُمْ وَهُمْ لَهُ مُنْكِرُونَ, but they don't recognize him because it's been so many years. So then they question him regarding his family. Yusuf says, oh, how many of you? 10 of you. Oh, okay, where's your other? He's trying to make some conversation with them. He knows exactly who they are. Oh, where's the other? Do you have more at home? How? He's asking questions because he's giving them a lot. They're asking for a lot. They're asking for 100. He's going to find out, is there actually 100 people, so I can give more, and then I can, are they trustworthy? Otherwise, I'm going to give you so much, and then it's just for them 10. Then it's going to be he's questioning them. So he mentions وَلَمَّا جَهَّزُهُمْ بِجَهَازِهِمْ وَلَمَّا جَهَّزُهُمْ بِجَهَازِهِمْ, while meeting them, talking about their family, finding all the information, finding about Binyamin, finding about their father, everything. He asked them, when he prepared their provisions, he gave them some provisions for the journey back, some stuff, whatever it is. He said, bring your brother. قَالَ ائْتُونِي بِأَخٍ لَكُم مِّنْ أَبِيكُمْ. Now bring your brother. You're talking about your brother and so forth. Bring your brother to Muz. I need to know that you're truthful about your brother. I need to know that you're truthful, that you're saying there's more of you at home, so I can give you more provisions and so forth. So bring your brother to me from your father. أَلَا تَرَوْنَ أَنِّي أُوفِي الْكَيْلَ وَأَنَا خَيْرُ الْمُنْزِلِينَ. Do you not see that I grant measure in full and that I am the best of oaths? I can give you more. Show me you're truthful, so I can give you more. So then, but he's treating them honorably. He knows this is his brothers. He treats them nicely. He treats them generously. But I want your other brother. I gave you your fulfill and so forth. Let's see if you're truthful. فَإِن لَمْ تَأْتُونَ بِهِ فَلَا كَيْلَ لَكُمْ عِنْدِي وَلَا تَقْرَبُونَ. If you do not bring him to me, therefore you will then have no measure from me, nor shall you draw close. He says, look, if you don't bring him, that means I can't trust you, and next time you come, I ain't going to give you nothing. I'm not going to give you no more provisions. I can't trust you. I'm giving you so much that is for other people as well as your family as well as you. So I need to know. So bring him to me as proof. So this is how he's trying to get Binyamin towards him, his brother Binyamin. قالوا, so they say, سَنَرَاوِدُ عَنْهُ أَبَاهُ وَإِنَّا لَفَاعِلُونَ. Now listen to this. They said, they get together, the brothers, we shall try to persuade his father. Whose father? Yani? Binyamin's father. Why didn't they say our father?
Because they don't consider him father.
They don't, they're still jealous. They still have this something inside of them. They say his father, not our father. They're still there. They say, but look at the wording. قالوا سنراود عنه أباه وإنا لفاعلون. We shall try to persuade his father from him. وإنا لفاعلون. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. So then, last ayats, 2 ayats. وقال لفتيانه اجعلوا بضاعتهم في رحالهم لعلهم يعرفونها إذا انقلبوا إلى أهلهم لعلهم يرجعون. He, Yusuf alayhi salam, said to his attendants, his slaves and his servants, place whatever they've given, place their funds back into secretly back into their bags, back into their carriages, so they recognize it when they return to their families, and so that they may come back. So they say, they're happy that they basically got everything for free. So go put their things back as well. So so then do this and then do that. So then this is what happens. So obviously they'll be happy when they go back. فَلَمَّا رَجُعُوا إِلَىٰ أَبِيهِمْ. So now when their brothers returned to their father, they said, قالوا يا أبانا, O our father, منع منا الكيل فأرسل معنا أخانا نكتل وإنا له لحافظون. Send a measure of food shall be denied to us. They've got so much. They've got so much food. It's over. Allah, He's given them so much. Not anyone. Whole camel load each. So much He's given them. A measure shall be denied to us. Already they're saying we're gonna get less. So send our brother with us, so that we bring extra grains, so we get extra camel load. Bring Binyamin, so we get extra. This is what they're saying to their father. Obviously, the father not trusting them at all, and the brothers knowing this as well. So he says, وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. We shall certainly guard him as well. Don't worry, we'll guard him. We'll look after him. So this is what they're saying towards him. Obviously, Yaqub as-Salam is a mu'min, and a mu'min does not get bitten from the same hole twice. So he doesn't believe his sons, he doesn't trust his sons. He still blames them for Yusuf. He still blames them. And Yaqub alayhi salam, he took their reputation to account. They're people that deceived. He still took their reputation to account. And he says, قال هل آمنكم عليه إلا كما أمنتكم على أخيه من قبل. He said, shall I trust you with him as I trusted you with his brother Yusuf? Should I trust you again after what you did before? Their reputation was still in the minds of Yusuf alayhi salam. Take their reputation into hand. And then he says, Allah, فَاللَّهُ خَيْرٌ حَافِظًا. Allah, and not your brothers, is the best protector. وَهُوَ أَرْحَمَ الرَّاحِمِينَ. He is the most merciful of those who show mercy. I'll finish on this. وَلَمَّا فَتَحُوا مَتَاعَهُم. When they open their provisions, they didn't even look in their provisions. When they open their provisions, وَجَدُوا بِضَاعَتَهُم. They found their funds returned back to them, whatever they gave. رُدَّتْ إِلَيْهِمْ. قالوا يا أبانا ما نبغي. Oh, our father, what more can we want? We just got everything for free. هذه بضاعتنا ردت إلينا. We shall bring food for our family. ونمير أهلنا ونحفظ أخانا ونزداد كيل بعير. Protect our brother and have extra camel load. ذلك كيل يسير. This measure is easy for us. We will look after your brother. We'll get more food. We'll do this. Alhamdulillah, we got everything going for us. قال لن أرسله معكم. I'm never going to send him with you. Yaqub says, never going to send him with you. Hatta, until حتى تؤتوني موثقا من الله, until you swear a solemn oath upon Allah that تأتونني به إلا أن يحاط, that you definitely bring him back to me, except if something happens like a natural disaster, or you get, someone overcomes you or whatever. ألا أن يحاط بكم. فلما آتاه موثقهم, all of them then gave the solemn oath. وقال الله على ما نقول وكيل. When they gave the oath, he said, Allah is watchful over what we say. He talks about regarding breaking oaths. So Yaqub alayhi salam says, don't break your oath. Don't break the oath. Oaths with the names of Allah is very serious. False oaths are big sins. The father telling his sons the importance of Allah's name. Allah's name, you're taking Allah's name, you cannot break it. They said yes. And they realize Allah's name is something that you cannot break as well. And we should also be very careful about how we use Allah's name. Just how the people of the past, a lot of us, we use Allah's name, we say Wallahi, all this for different reasons, for small, trivial reasons. We shouldn't do this. Allah's name is very worthy of izzah, and we use it at certain times when we need to use it. So then Yaqub is teaching his sons regarding the value of the word of Allah, and don't use it in a manner which is incorrect as well. So we learn many different kind of different lessons from Yusuf alayhi salam, how the truth came out, how his character was attacked, and how he cleared his name and his reputation and so forth. And this is what we also need to be put into perspective, where our character should be, also our amal should be at the same time. Our character should be the same way, our words should be something, our amal and our action should back it up as well, and have these good characters, like the characters of the prophets of the past, Qawiyun Ameen, Hafizun Alim, all of these trustworthy, good qualities. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept it and give us these qualities inside of our lives, and so we can reward those people as well in this dunya and also in the akhirah. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.